So, Nicholas, what have you got to start off with?
I'm going to start out with the UK paper, The Times, which is leading on the title, Israel prepares for Iran to test nuclear bomb this year. Now, that paper in London has access to documents showing that Israel is preparing for scenarios for the day after an Iranian nuclear weapons test, and that is striking there. The last two words there, you can see this year, so that's now, Claire.
And the Iranian president, we can see there, he's on a tour of Latin America at the moment, defending the nuclear program of Iran.
Yes, he's there visiting 4 countries over 5 days. Of course, defending his nuclear ambitions is paramount. He's meeting Hugo Chavez and the Latin American Herald. We normally on the Press Review look at the International Herald Tribune, but here we've got the Latin American Herald Tribune this morning. Now, it's leading there, "Stop the imperialist madness of the United States." That's the quote from Chavez. Chavez is also saying, well, Iran and Venezuela are under attack, not the other way around. The lackeys of imperialism are trying to portray us as aggressors. Now, both of those men are in Nicaragua today, and Ahmadinejad also visits Cuba and Ecuador. Now, looking at the Iranian position in Tehran, what about going to the Tehran Times here? Ahmadinejad in Venezuela to forge ties with nations. Now, that piece is just a straightforward coverage of that visit, but it says, well, the US is always angry about him going to the region. He's been there 5 times since 2005. Business with Brazil, for example, has doubled since that time. And the attack of the Tehran Times is like America's anger always boils over when he goes to the region.
We're going to stay in the region and look at the Washington Post. It's got a report on the Mexican drug cartels.
Yeah, the Washington Post has got this story. US agents helped Mexican and Colombian drug traffickers launder millions in drug proceeds. Now, of course, national sovereignty, Mexico's national sovereignty is very sensitive for Mexico City, and that story is basically looking at US agents' involvement in the horrendous wave of violence that's going on in Mexico at the moment to do with the drug cartels and the gangs there. Now, that piece is looking at insights into that, glimpses into the way US agents are operating. Also about Mexico today in the press, I saw this other piece in India, in fact. It's in the Asian Age, which is reporting on how Mexican gangs, the cartels, are using kids to smuggle drugs to the United States. Those kids are 11 to 17-year-olds, and they're from both sides of the border. It's not simply Mexicans, it's also Americans. Now, that piece in the Asian Age is saying Los Zetas, one of the most violent gangs in Mexico, is paying $500 to each teenager willing to smuggle drugs. So it's not a nice picture there in Mexico.
Now, in the US, there's voting's got underway in the state of New Hampshire in the first primary there. And Mitt Romney, the favourite, he's facing the heat, though, after a gaffe.
I like firing people, or I like being able to fire people. That's Mitt Romney, and that's a gaffe, a go-go, isn't it? It's on the front page of the Independent there. I like being able to fire people. And his comment was about advocating choice in the healthcare insurance market. Fairly ordinary stuff, really, except he is criticised for founding a private equity firm that rivals accuse him of robbing workers of their jobs. Turning to another paper, the South China Morning Post, it's looking at this for Romney. The knives are out for the capitalist predator. And that's about Newt Gingrich's campaign, ad campaign, saying that he has engineered the destruction of free enterprise in his own business dealings. That's Mitt Romney, of course, a wealthy businessman.
And to finish off with a story to bring a smile.
Well, I saw this in the Daily Mirror, and it's Supergran celebrates 85th birthday. And this lady in Cardiff in Wales, we can see her just there at the front, has 126 children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Her name is Beryl O'Flynn. She's a retired cleaner. Now, can you imagine? I mean, we've all just recovered from the Christmas presents. Can you imagine opening all those Christmas presents? 126 people.
Maybe they have a secret Santa system or something, so you only have to get one, because that is a huge number of kids.
Well, the piece in the Daily Mirror said that she has a budget, very sensible, £1,500 for the lot of them. Right. So that's for birthdays, Christmas, and whatever. So.
Well, you have to understand her having a system of sorts. Thank you very much for that look at the international newspapers, Nicholas Rushworth. Still to come here on Live from Paris, in need of a lift a month since its launch, why electric cars in Paris are struggling to make their mark. That's in business right after the break.